In the heart of Africa, where the land stretches wild and untamed, there was a village nestled deep within dense forests and beneath towering trees. The people lived in homes built from wood, clay, and straw, small fortresses standing against the wilderness that surrounded them. Smoke curled from thatched roofs as women cooked over open fires, drums beat softly at night, and children's laughter echoed with the dawn. The forest was both friend and foe, providing sustenance but testing their resilience at every turn. For this tribe, life revolved around the forest. Hunting was more than survival, it was tradition, honor, and identity. Among all creatures, their favorite hunt was the bamboos, swift and clever animals that were as much a test of skill as they were a source of food. Catching one was a matter of pride, a way to prove strength, courage, and mastery over the forest. One morning, when the mist lay thick on the forest floor like a white blanket, the village was alive with excitement. The hunters prepared for what they believed would be a day of triumph. 29 of the strongest men stood ready, their bodies painted with colors of bravery, spears sharpened, and bows strung tightly. Children watched with wide eyes, mothers sang songs of blessing, and elders whispered prayers for protection. The entire village buzzed with anticipation. The hunters laughed and joked as they moved into the forest. Every step was measured, every glance alert. They imagined a feast awaiting them in the village, fires burning bright, children dancing, and elders clapping with pride. The forest welcomed them with rustling leaves, chirping birds, and distant monkey calls, as if acknowledging their arrival. Hours passed, their hearts pounding with excitement, their minds focused on the bamboos they hoped to catch. But the forest held secrets. Without warning, the birds fell silent. The wind ceased to stir the leaves. An oppressive stillness pressed on their chests, making them uneasy. One young hunter whispered, "Something's not right." Then it happened. From the shadows of the grass, a roar split the air, shaking the ground beneath them. Golden eyes gleamed in the darkness, and before they could react, a pride of lions sprang forward. The attack was swift, merciless, and total. The hunters raised their weapons, shouting in defiance, but the lions were relentless. Spears pierced flesh, arrows flew, but the beast struck with unstoppable power. Screams echoed through the forest as men fell one by one, their cries swallowed by the chaos. Some tried to climb trees, only to be dragged down. Others ran, only to be pursued with terrifying speed. "Stand together. Fight," shouted one elder, but his voice was drowned by the roar of the lions. In mere minutes, the forest transformed from a place of life into a graveyard. 26 men lay dead, their weapons scattered, their lives abruptly ended. Only 3 survived, trembling, wounded, eyes wide with horror. The 3 survivors dragged themselves through the forest for hours. Every step was agony, every memory of the attack burning in their minds. By late afternoon, the sun tilted westward, and they finally emerged near the village. The village, unaware of the tragedy, was waiting with joy. Children played near the fires, women prepared for the feast, elders spoke of the hunters' expected triumph. As the survivors approached, people ran to greet them, expecting laughter, stories, and the prized bamboos. But the sight froze their hearts. The men's clothes were torn, their bodies smeared with blood that wasn't theirs, and their eyes were hollow, filled with unimaginable grief. What happened? "Where are the others?" a woman asked, her voice trembling. One survivor fell to his knees, tears streaking his face. "They are gone, all 26, the lions, they took them all." The words hit the village like thunder. Women screamed, mothers fell to the ground, children wailed in confusion. Wives clutched their chests, elders bowed their heads in helpless grief. The air filled with lamentations that seemed to pierce the sky itself. The survivors led the villagers back to the scene. Bones and torn flesh lay scattered across the ground. The air smelled of blood and death. The villagers collected what they could, the remains of their loved ones, and carried them home in silence. Each step was a burden, each moment an unbearable reminder of their loss. When the remains were brought into the village, the cries erupted once more, louder than before. That night, fires burned not for celebration, but in mourning. The drums beat slowly, echoing the rhythm of grief. Children clung to mothers, women held the bones of husbands and brothers, elders whispered prayers into the night. Days passed, but laughter did not return. The hut seemed darker, the fires colder, and the songs of joy forgotten. The forest, once a friend, now felt like a place of terror. The memory of the lion's roar haunted the villagers, echoing in dreams and in the silence of night. Yet, amidst the grief, a strange bond formed. The village leaned on one another, shared their sorrow, and vowed never to forget the fallen. The elders taught the children to remember the courage of the hunters, even as they mourned their loss. Over time, the story became legend. Around fires, the villagers recounted the tragedy not only with tears but also with reverence, honoring the bravery of those who faced the lions. Though pain lingered for wives, mothers, and children who had lost husbands, sons, and fathers, the tribe found resilience. They buried the bones in the heart of the village, and each year they held ceremonies to honor them. The hunt that had been meant to bring joy had instead carved a permanent scar, teaching the villagers the fragility of life and the thin line between triumph and tragedy. Even now, when the wind rustles the trees at night, some say the spirits of the lost hunters walk among them. Not as shadows of fear, but as guardians, whispering reminders to cherish life, to hold loved ones close, and to live with courage. The day the lions roared is never forgotten. It is a story carried through generations, a tale of sorrow, bravery, and the unbreakable spirit of a people who lost so much yet found a way to survive and stay united.